Thanks for checking out my video today. I appreciate you coming by, checking out what I'm talking about today. And as you know from the title, we are discussing Francis Kurkdjian, but not Mason Francis Kurkdjian. A while back, I realized that Francis Kurkdjian was making some fragrances that I had in my collection. And then my friend Michanna, who's on Instagram, she seemed to have been collecting the fragrances. I remember going on Fragrantician, looking down the list like, oh my gosh, he made this and he made that. And so I was like, I have this and I have that and I have the Burberry and I have the Elizabeth Arden. And I was like, oh, I have a lot of Francis Kurkdjian in my collection. And she was actually seeking out these fragrances by Francis Kurkdjian outside of his Mason Francis Kurkdjian line. I even bought one of my fragrances off of her recommendation, and so that kind of led me to kind of search and see what other fragrances I would like to try out. Another person I realized that was seeming to collect fragrances made by Francis Kurkdjian, and it was Lulu. So yet again, hey Lulu girl, we decided that we would do a collab, sharing our collections of Francis Kurkdjian that's not MFK. So again, shout out to Michanna. Definitely go check out Lulu's channel to see what fragrances she has. She might have a bigger collection than mine. But yeah, let's get into it. So what should I say? I'm gonna start with what I bought first. And so what I acquired first was my Burberry collection. I was introduced to my Burberry Black. So before the My Burberrys came out, I was into the Burberry collections back in the day, but I had kind of moved away from them. And so this was a reintroduction to the Burberry line through the My Burberry collection. And so I was introduced to my Burberry Black, and this just rocked my socks. Like first I was like, is this a man's fragrance? It is deep, it is rich, it is giving me all kinds of jazz club vibes, like, and it's so intoxicating that I just had to hit it. I was entranced, like I kept thinking about it. So I bought it, and then I was like, okay, well, I really like the other ones in the collection, and so I got my Burberry Black. That was a recommendation from a Sephora associate. Shout out to her. That was bomb. And then I realized, oh my gosh, when Macari came into my life, I was able to score the original My Burberry. So my Burberry Black is peach and candied rose, and it is just amazing and gorgeous. When I got this, I thought it was so different from the My Burberry Black, because it was just like the classic kind of floral scent, but this is like a lighter version of the My Burberry Black. It's pretty, it's classic, it's everyday. I like it. After I had gotten my Burberry Black, I had actually gotten the My Burberry Blush. After My Burberry in the color pink. You can wear it casually, but for some reason, when I bought it, I actually envisioned this more of like what you would wear to church, or if you had to dress up and be dainty and pretty, because that's the vibes that this gives me. After that, I got Burberry for her because, of course, it was supposed to be like Baccarat Rouge, but it had a pretty strong strawberry note that was very interesting to me. Like, has blackcurrant, raspberry, blueberry, jasmine accord, Violet Accord, Musk, and Dry Amber. I had no idea this had blueberry in it, or that it was jasmine and violet and not something else. But that is so interesting. I just never thought about the notes, because I knew it was strawberry and aromatic and deep and either milkshake or cotton candy, just kind of this deep sweetness. But it is gorgeous. If I really like this and I love the strawberry in it, the Intense has to be everything, right? So I got the Intense. You can see that the bottle's a little bit ombre, a little darker. And this is deeper. I'll put some notes up to tell you what makes it deeper. But this has a slight medicinal note to it upon first spray, but it kind of goes away and just gives you that richness that this one doesn't have. This one is just, in comparison to the Intense, this one is lighter, airier, fruitier, but this one is rich. Now, I've tried to wear these, but by the time I thought about the performance, I was not paying attention. So the next one was when Michanna was like, hey, we should grab this fragrance to our Instagram buddies. Let's grab this fragrance. It's by Francis Kurkdjian. It is Nina Ricci's. This is the Rose L'Extase. So I love the bottle. I think it's gorgeous. This one, to me, this is a rose-based fragrance, and I'll put up some notes because I don't know them off the top of my head, but this has a hint of smoke to it, or for me, a kind of scruffy feel. So I called this the cousin to La Nuit Trésor, because they both have that same kind of structure to it, where you have, so La Nuit Trésor had a Taif rose, and so this reminds me of that. There's some sweetness to it, but that kind of smoky rose to make it deep and a bit jammy. This is one I'm on the fence about. I gave my La Nuit Trésor away because I just cannot do it. And so with this one being a close cousin, while also supposed to be one of, kind of a dupe of one of, like Oud Satin Mood, I can't remember which one it is, but yeah, either way, I'm just on the fence about this. I'm trying to see if it's something that grows on me, because so many things in my collection lately have just been showing me new sides of who they are. And I've been enjoying that process of learning my collection or experiencing it in different ways. And so, yeah, we'll see about this one. Chant d'Extase. So I got this one because of Gabi, the Fragrantician. Go check out her channel. I'll leave a link below. But she talked about this being a mermaid fragrance, and I'm a mermaid. Sometimes I'm a dolphin, but I prefer a mermaid. So I had to have this, and plus this bottle, come on, it is so gorgeous just for the bottle alone. But let's get into the scent. So this is an aquatic, fruity, aquatic, sweet, floral fragrance. You get some of the vibes that you would get from beachy suntan fragrances. So what comes to mind might be Beach Walk or Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc, but what makes this one different for me is that there's caramel in the base. So he enriches the base a bit, and I really like that about this. It doesn't stay kind of sparkly and just warm, but it adds that like slight gourmand touch. It's not a gourmand fragrance, but just having that in the base gives it a richness that I have found in his fragrances. On that note, I would say that Francis Kurkdjian does an amazing job of infusing the American market with some of the Middle Eastern nuances, but namely modernizing our fruity florals and giving them rich bases that take them beyond just the normal Western profile. Like he's given us more, I think. His use of peach is amazing. Next one that I got, I know that Josh Jane, definitely, I'm sure if you know about my channel, you have to know about Josh Jane's channel, but she was a huge Lolita Lempicka fan. And when I was going through the collection of Lolita Lempickas, and ones that I could actually purchase, because a lot of them are discontinued, hard to find, I came across Lolitaland. So this one was very intriguing to me because it has peach Bellini in it. So here we are, Francis Kurkdjian doing the peach. Peach Bellini, it's drink inspired, which tell me a perfume is inspired by a drink and I am all the way in. This one and the little fawn on top. This one is sweet and it's not cotton candy, but I don't want to say marshmallowy. Again, I'll have to put the notes, but that peach Bellini up top. This one, when I first got it, this smelled just like La Belle to me, with the removal of the pear and with the peach Bellini replacing the pear. So I said, whatever's in this is definitely in La Belle. Since, you know, La Belle, they're all secretive about their notes and what's in it. But this one is so gorgeous. I love having this one. I think as soon as I got it, I wore it and was able to experience it. And I just have very fond memories of it. So that peach Bellini makes it sparkly at the top, but then it comes around to this full-bodied, warm, sweet base. I love it. And lastly, right on trend with his style, right? He was a nose and creator behind fragrances for Navitus and Big Beard Business collaboration, which I was just so stoked about, because if you have somebody doing your fragrance, like who else would you want on your team other than Francis Kurkdjian? So Francis Kurkdjian and Jerome DiMarino, who I think is his protege, he's on a lot of projects with him. Projects that Francis Kurkdjian is on, Jerome DiMarino is on also. And so that Navitus perfume is Eidola. Eidola is structured similar to Delina. I'll just go ahead and say that, but it is not Delina. It is not tart. It is sweet. It is bright and citrusy, but the citrus is orange, mandarin orange. So it's a little deeper, and it has the two roses and some jasmine. And then, you know, he put his amazing peach in this. Wait a minute, let me. Okay, so Eidola is going to be a lot brighter than my Burberry Black. But this is just a beautiful fragrance, and I'm so glad to have this. I'm excited about having a rose fragrance that I'm just in love with. I have a couple, but this is one of my star rose fragrances. Like, it's just grown woman fruity floral. It's no exception to the Francis Kurkdjian excellence. Oh, I did not pull out my green tea. I don't know why, but I would say The Elizabeth Arden green tea surprised me. I think initially when I smelled it, you're just like, oh, it's kind of spa-like, it's refreshing, blah, blah, blah. But now smelling it, it's like, this is a rich green tea. It's not just your light aromatic green tea. Like it got a little richness to it, a little spice or something to it. And that's something I would totally see Francis Kurkdjian doing to green tea. So I have one more that I'm gonna call an honorable mention, which I could have put first, but we're talking about it now. This is Kenzo World Power. So the other Kenzos were made by Francis Kurkdjian, but World Power is made by Jerome Di Marino. Again, you know, they're a little tag team. When I first got it, because my Western apple pie nose was just not ready for a savory kind of fragrance. This is a salty fragrance that's a hair bit more savory than it is sweet. So I do like the other Kenzo Worlds, especially the intense one, but World Power is definitely kind of salty. And this, okay, I learned to appreciate this even more. Like I can wear it by itself now, but I learned to appreciate it even more when I have a super rich, sweet fragrance. I can balance it out a bit with some of this salty fragrance. And from then, I absolutely love it. This one I pair with The Chronic by Byron Parfums. Now, you may or may not know, but that is one of my absolute favorite fragrances. But I don't know. I don't know if my nose is changing, but it can be just a bit too sweet. And so I just popped some of this on with it and we're good. But I am so glad that I did not declutter this or get rid of it, because I enjoy it. Like it's nicely balanced for those who don't like things that are way too sweet, but this is an amazing balance of sweet and savory with some richness. So it's not light, it's not fluffy, it got a little kick to it in the richness area. So that is Kenzo World Power. So you guys, are there any other Francis Kurkdjians I should be adding to my collection that's outside of the Maison Francis Kurkdjian line? I know a lot of people, I think he did the Ellie Sobs. I just haven't gotten there yet, but I am very satisfied with what I do have. But let me know if there's something that I really need to check out, because I would love to know. And tell me if you have any that are your favorites and that you really enjoy. Let's talk, let's share, let's exchange information. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye.